crafty friends, Jen Cassell here. I am back with another design team project share and tutorial for Scrap Diva Design. Today we're going to be focusing on the pie gift box from the December release. So cute, you guys. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot of dies that come with this set, but I'm hoping to break it down in a really simple manner for you, because once you figure out how it goes together, it's really easy to put together. It's just a lot of components involved. So you do have the box lid, which is your lattice crust, and then you have the pie box, like the pie plate bottom. And as always, here's her website and all of the info on the back. Make sure to use that hashtag Scrap Diva Designs for some amazing inspiration. And if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use my coupon code JEN10 for 10% off your purchase at the shop. I super appreciate everyone who uses my affiliate link and coupon code. I do get a small kickback, and it helps me continue to create the things that I love to do. And make sure you sign up for her email list. There's always some great design inspiration, and she does some fun little games that you can play along to win a prize at the end of the month. So my box, absolutely love it. It comes with these cute little whipped cream clouds too. I mean, how adorable are those little poofs? I did use some gingies from another Scrap Diva die. This sentiment here is from the new Christmas words die that is released this month. So cute. For the base of the box, I used paper from Miss Kate Designs. This is her December monthly subby box, the Christmas Joy. And I do have a giveaway for Miss Kate going on my channel. Make sure to head over to Instagram to find out all the details on that. And if you'd like to see how I put this together, stay tuned. Let's go over what you need to die cut here. So we're first going to start with this smaller one here, and I have cut 2 of these. The base of my box is this right here. Next up, we have this one. So this die right here, and I've cut it twice, or you can cut it once. You can put this together 2 ways. I will show you both ways. If you're going to cut one, then you want to keep the interior of this die, so all of these little strips. And then next up, we have this large one here, and I've cut this twice. This is going to be the background of my pie. My pie is an eggnog pie, so I made it in this cream color, and then I've also cut it in my pie crust color. If you're wondering, I am using Fawn from Basil Cardstock for my pie. This cream is cream puff, and then the white is the basil white cardstock. Next up, we have these scallops. You will need 4 total. It's this die right here. You do get 2 of the same, so you have to make less cuts. Next up, we have this die here. Once again, I've cut 4 total. Those are the same die, so you can make less cuts. Next up, we have these right here. I have cut it 8 times. So you get 2 of the same once again. And this actually has a second part to it. This is going to be your overlay. Once again, I've cut it 8 times, and optionally you can cut this whole round again, so an additional 8 times to cover the interior of your box. There are going to be a lot of tabs on this on the interior, so if you're gifting or, you know, want a little additional sturdiness, make sure to cut these again. Lastly, we have these dies right here, and this is going to be your whipped cream. Now, I've actually done these a couple different ways. So this is the regular die, and I used 7 of these to create this. I actually cut this one as well, and this is just a smaller version. I'll show you how to create both, and I use 6 on this. So I didn't know how many I was going to use. You can actually make these a little smaller too. That's totally fine. I would say at the very least you need 4 of these to complete a little whipped cream, okay? But each time I did a cut, I just threw these on the plate as well. I had a ton of them to work with. Okay, so to start with our box, we are going to begin with all 8 of these and the overlays for the interior and exterior and your 2 box bases right here. So starting off, I want to show you how to do these folds. You're going to have several score lines that run along this. So I'm going to start with the first score line at the top, and you're really going to want to make sure that these are nice and scored, so bring your bone folder out. So first one is going to be a mountain fold. Our next one is going to be a valley fold. Remember, mountain up, valley down, okay? And then our next one is going to be another mountain fold, and again a mountain fold, and our last one, mountain fold. So just remember, this is your only valley fold. And then you're also going to bring these inward, so all mountain fold on your side tabs, okay? And then I'll make sure I really go over that. Before I start putting everything together, I'm going to grab my Barely Art glue, put these overlays on. It'll give you a little added stability. I really wanted a classic Christmas feel to this when I was figuring out my color choices. And I actually based this on a pie that I saw on Pinterest. I just thought it was so cool. I'll actually include the photo here. And that's how I get a lot of my inspiration. I just find things on Pinterest that I really like. And it doesn't have to be a paper craft. It just serves as a inspiration. So once again, I'm gonna start by putting my overlay pieces on. Okay, now that I have my pieces on, I'm going to start once again with my first fold, mountain fold. We're gonna go down to a valley fold. We're gonna do another mountain fold, and then another mountain fold. And our last. Now let's focus on these side tabs, bringing them all in. So you're going to want to repeat this so you have a total of 8, all right? Now let's bring this first piece over, and I'm leaving it so that my stitched side is up, and I'm going to use a little Barely Art on my interior tab. This is going to be your base. And I'm just going to line everything up and bring it underneath. I can go ahead and use my bone folder to really press that down. Once again, I'm going to come in with some glue. Line everything up and press down. Okay, bring it under. I'm going to start with this one right here, all right, right in the middle, this long flat tab. Start there, make sure everything's in place, and then you can start moving downward. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over and start doing these tabs. Just take your time. It gets a little tricky at the top, but it does want to go together. Okay, before we put the next one on, we're actually going to flip this one tab over so that it's pointing outward or upward. So we're going to make it a valley fold. And once again, let's add some glue to our bottom tab. I'm going to line everything up. You really want to take your time with this. Make sure that everything is lined up properly. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time getting this together at the end. So I'm going to bring all of my tabs inward. I'm going to bring this whole thing inward. I'm going to add my glue. Don't need a whole lot of glue for this, okay? More glue you have on there, the longer it's going to take to dry, which is what we don't want, okay? Once again, I'm going to start at this large tab right here, press down. Make sure that's really solid. I'll come up to this larger tab here. Just make sure to bring it all inward. Okay. Now I'm going to grab these two tabs. Okay. This is your tricky one here. There we go. And then just lastly, bring that other tab, just using your thumbs to kind of press everything in. I know it's a little awkward, but trust me, this is going to look so good when you're done. I have a feeling it's going to be a little easier for me if I start putting my tabs in now on the interior. So I'm just going to start covering up some of these as I go in, just because I have a little clearer view of what's going on before I start putting all of my tabs together. So I think this will be a little easier. Okay, now let's take our next piece, add a little glue. Let's really make sure that that is down. Let's bring our last tab inward. Add glue. Pinch with your thumbs, okay? Now I'm going to add my next set of interior panels, and I'm going to go around, finish the rest of these, and I'll come back, we'll do the last one together. Okay, I am down to my last tab. I have just about all of my interior completed as well. So let's grab some glue, line everything up. Going to add some glue to my tabs. You may find it helpful to get a little hot glue out for these last couple of tabs, just because it's getting a little harder to get into that tight area. And same thing, our final tabs. I'm adding glue. Bringing that last tab up. So I'm going to make sure everything is on the interior tab-wise. And I'm going to start with the bigger tab this time, just to give it some added support. Now I can grab this one. I know this is a toughie here, but just take your time. And we have our base. Let's just add our last set of interior tabs. Okay, so we have this whole box put together. I am going to add some glue to this last piece right here. Cover up my tabs. Now, you can avoid doing this portion if you put your tabs on the interior, but I really prefer putting my tabs on the exterior. It just kind of gives it, I don't know, I think it's a little easier to put together because it's easier to line up when they're on the outside. Okay, so let's set this aside, let it cure, and we're gonna start working on the lid of our box. Okay, so to begin with the lid of our box, we're gonna start with this octagon piece. This is the larger octagon in there, and this is what the color that I want poking out from underneath my lattice. I do have another one of these cut, and this is actually going to go underneath to cover up my tabs. That's why this is the same color as these side pieces. So let's set this aside for a moment, and I'm working with my stitched side up, and I have glue on the long tabs and lining up really well. Use your bone folder. To work on this, I have my stitched side downward. So you don't need to worry about this if you're working with non-textured paper. But if you're using textured or a print, you want your textured side face down on your work surface when you're putting this together. So I'm going to come back with my next set of tabs. And I'm also going to add glue to this tab here. And once again, just line everything up. Use your bone folder to press down. And then I'm just going to attach this tab to my first piece. Moving along. Adding glue. And once again, you can reduce some of your layers if you choose to put your tabs on the interior, but I really like doing my 3D die cutting this way. Now I'm going to grab my larger of the brown pieces and put that on the interior. Again, you could simplify this if you wanted, but I really wanted a nice sturdy piece. It may take a little longer, but it really does produce a more quality piece. So for our lattice, you can either cut one or two of these. Now, if you cut two, you're just going to glue your pieces together like this, and this is what it's going to create. But I did want to show you an alternative. So I am just going to take my one lattice piece, and I have all of my slits from the interior. Now, I'm going to start weaving. This is my longest. You have two of these pieces here. So I'm just going to start weaving that piece in between my slats, just like you would a lattice pie. And I'm going to do the opposite. I'll go over. I'm not gluing anything yet. I just want to get my lattice in and weaved. Okay. 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 Now let's go for this one. Okay. You do want to weave the lattice in the order that they came out of your die sets, because there are some funkier pieces that you're going to have to kind of maneuver. Okay, to do the lattice portion of the box, you're going to want 2 of these. And I am just going to place glue around the outer edges. And you can just add a little bit of glue underneath your lattice. I'm flipping it over just in case I smudge, which I have a feeling I will. I'm going to come over here and once again grab my glue. Let's place it on the lid of our pie. I'm going to flip it over and use my bone folder to really press it. Lastly, I am going to grab 4 of these and we're just going to start gluing them around our box. Just like that. Now, if you really wanted to be extra, you could glue 2 of these together and that'll give you a super, super heavy base. So that's actually what I'm going to do. Now that I have all of these glued together, I'm going to go ahead and add glue to my 2 tabs on the interior. And then line everything up. You want that to hit right at the edge of your box. Grab our next one. So I have all of my sides completed. I'm going to bring the base over. It fits perfectly. And oh my God, is that not the cutest? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside. Let's work on those whipped cream puffs. So as I said, I just die cut a whole bunch of these. So this large one here, I have 7. For this teeny tiny small one, I did 6. Bare minimum of 4, I would say, to do any of these. Now, the small one and the large one are going to be put together the exact same way. I do want another small one for my pie, so I'm going to show you. If you're doing just the regular large size, you're going to take your glue, add glue to this tab, and then put your next one on, and just keep going like this, adding more and more. However, if you want to make these teeny tiny ones, grab your scissors, and all I'm going to do is cut that bottom layer off. And like I said, I did 6 for this small one. And you could, of course, use your paper trimmer for this as well, but I'm fairly comfortable just eyeing it up. I have 6 of them here, and like I said, I'm just going to add glue to this first tab and add my next piece. Now, if you notice that your cuts were a little wonky, that's okay. Just trim as you go. Once again, I'm going to grab my glue and add my next piece. This is so easy and they are so cute. I love these little whipped cream puffs. And my final piece. I'm pinching everything together so that it's nice and tight. And now I am going to grab my glue and bring this last tab to the beginning tab. Fan it out. Is that not the cutest, you guys? Okay, so I've cut a few different pieces out to decorate my pie. I, of course, have my adorable little cream puffs here, or whipped cream puffs. But I also kind of wanted to make mine a little gingy. So I've cut this gingy. It's layered on foam and sandwiched between two layers. This, like I'm saying, I want this to be super, super nice. So I've really gone the extra mile in this. This gingy is from the Gingerbread purse die set. I've cut 2 of them. I've used some of this. This is from the Santa boot, the pine. I thought it kind of looked like rosemary, so I added a little bit of this. This is from the add-on from the other the 3D house box die. Love, love, love. And then these stars, I wanted them to kind of look like gingerbread cookies, so I used some color pops on the outside. I'm not sure if I'm in love with them because my color pops kind of got a little wonky, but I'm just going to see, I'm going to play a little bit. And these stars are from the Christmas Stampin' Die set from last month. You're also going to see this December 25th. This die is one of the new sentiments for the month of December, and I did collab with Erica on this. Love this font. It's so pretty. And I also have a couple of candy canes, and once again, this is from the 3D house die set that I've placed on foam as well. So I'm just going to play a little, and we'll be back to show you the finished product. Oh my goodness. I couldn't be happier. So let me tell you about my process a little bit. So when I did this, I started with my 2 largest pieces right here. I knew those kind of where those were going. And then I just started filling in from there. So judging by how I put my pieces in, I put my whipped cream clouds next. And then I just kind of started placing all of my little extras. So I have these cute little snowflakes. They're acrylic snowflakes that I get at Hobby Lobby all the time. And then I have some pine cones. And before anybody comes at me, pine cones don't belong on a pie. Pies aren't made out of paper either. So I'm breaking the rules a little bit. I showed you the smaller gingies that I had die cut out. I did end up using those stars. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but once I put all of my snow and stuff like that on, I didn't even mind the little wonkiness in it. I also have the candy canes as well as the sprigs just kind of tucked in. Wherever I wanted a little bit of green is where I put them. Like, because this is so neutral, I really wanted pops of red and green. Placed my December 25th almost last. And then I went in with all of my littles, which these are, I think they're like beads. I don't know. I found them in my stash from a while ago. They're like silicone or clay beads, I guess. And I love the peppermint look to them. So super, super cute. These little gingies that you see in here, those are some layered stickers, believe it or not, that I found in my collection that I thought were kind of cool and fit really well in there. And it also kind of breaks up the browns too, because I kept everything with, you know, the same 2 browns. I thought this kind of breaks that up. So that was my thought process in that. And when I was all done, I went in with my glitter snow. And while the glitter snow was still wet, instead of using the normal iridescent glitter on top of it that I usually do, this is the glitter that I normally use when I'm doing my faux snow technique. But on this one, I really kind of wanted it to look like sanding sugar on top of my pie. So I used distressed glitter in the clear rock candy to make those snow bits a little more sandy like, and I really love the effect. It's super, super pretty. Super pretty. So if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use my coupon code JEN10 for 10% off your purchase at the shop. I'll link all of the dies that I used in the description box, as well as my affiliate link. And that'll take you right over to the shop. You don't even have to add your coupon code to it. So thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more crafty content. I'll see you in the next crafty video. Bye.